Yo, so you want to get smarter? Like actual big brain energy? Not just looking up random brain hacks that sound cool but don't do squat? You don't get smarter by doing more. You get smarter by doing better. It's not about being perfect, it's about showing up. Daily, even when you're tired, even when you don't feel like it. Stack enough small wins and you're unstoppable. Well, good news, it's actually easier than you think. Bad news? That whole go to school for 12 years, then college, then grad school thing? You get a shiny piece of paper, a mountain of debt, and maybe a job you don't hate. Yeah, that mostly just makes you broke. But hey, at least you can complain about it on Reddit in flawless grammar. The most important thing you can do? Read. What kind of reading depends. Fiction is great for building reading speed and expanding your vocabulary. Plus, reading dialogue helps sharpen your sense of conversation. Nonfiction, on the other hand, is where you start collecting those interesting facts you can casually drop into conversations. The real way to get smart. Getting smarter is about learning skills, solving problems, making money, ideally, and flexing just enough to sound impressive but not like that guy at parties. Just by reading a book like this, you'll come across as someone who knows their stuff, especially when it comes to history. The key is sharing that knowledge without sounding like you're trying to prove a point. Vikings wore those horned helmets, right? Well, really, there's no evidence they ever wore horned helmets. That's just Hollywood nonsense. While that kind of response might fly in a YouTube comment section in real-life conversations, starting with "well, really" before correcting someone can come off as smug and instantly make you less likable. Swap out the "well" for something more relaxed. Like it's easy and now you've got a real conversation. Let's try that same exchange again, but with a better vibe. Vikings wore those horned helmets, right? That image is everywhere, right? It's easy, really, to assume Vikings wore horned helmets, but historians say that idea actually came from opera costumes. You're still dropping a fact, but now it feels like an interesting tidbit, not a correction. Unfortunately, most advice is either too vague, just be curious, or super basic. Follow the Mediterranean diet, sleep 8 hours, listen to Mozart, read every day, do quizzes to improve your IQ. Like, okay, thanks, but that's not getting me a six-figure salary or winning me trivia night. Let's take a look at these 5 easy steps to becoming smarter. Step 1, read, but the right way. Step 1 to big brain mode, read. And no, not just the same 5 books every self-improvement bro tells you to read. The trick is to pick books you actually care about. Want to know more about cleaning? Google best books on cleaning. Pick one, and boom. You're about to be the Marie Kondo of your friend group. And hey, books cost money, but sometimes your finger slips and lands on a totally legal website where books just happen to be free. Wild. Also, pro tip, audiobooks count? Yes, even if you're listening while folding laundry or eating cereal. If you're absorbing info and not just zoning out to lo-fi beats, it's a win. Same goes for podcasts. Find ones that actually teach you something, and suddenly your commute or gym time is basically a mini masterclass. Smarter, one episode at a time. Step 2, use what you learn. Reading is cool, but if you don't use what you learn, your brain yeets that info into the void. So read about something, then actually do it. Reading about how to clean? Go clean a room. Doesn't even have to be your room. Some skills aren't as easy to practice right away, though. Like, if you read about jump-starting a car, you might not have 2 cars lying around. But what you can do is imagine it. Visualize yourself doing it, step by step. That way, when you actually need it, your brain goes, "Oh yeah, we've been here before." That's why daydreaming in class is low-key an elite study method. Don't tell your teacher. Same thing with social skills. Read about how to have better conversations. Try them out. Test it with your barista, your grandma, your dog. Okay, maybe not the dog, but you get the idea. Step 3, learn like schools should teach. You know how schools make you remember random facts by giving you tests? The reason that works is because your brain thinks it's important if there's a threat involved, aka bad grades. But once the test is over, your brain goes, cool, we don't need this anymore, and deletes it like an old Snapchat. So if you want to actually remember stuff, create your own test. Make up questions. Give yourself fake high-stakes scenarios. Like, imagine you're dangling off a cliff and the only way to get pulled up is if you can name all the parts of a cell, now that you'll remember. And if you can teach it to someone else, boom, extra credit. If you can explain quantum physics to your cousin who still eats worms, congrats, you've mastered it. Step 4, why textbooks are secretly on point. I know. Textbooks? Boring. But hear me out. They're the best way to learn fast because they cut out the fluff. No pointless rambling, just straight info and practice questions. If you can push through one, congrats. You're basically unstoppable. And if you're thinking textbooks are expensive, well, let's just say the internet is a magical place where certain textbooks may or may not be available for free. Also, don't just read passively. Treat it like a boss battle. Highlight, take notes, scream internally. Whatever works. The real key? Make it active. After each section, explain it to yourself like you're teaching it to someone else. Bonus points if you can unpack it in a way your grandma would understand. That's when you know it's locked in. Learning isn't about memorizing, it's about making knowledge yours. Step 5. Build a smart routine. Want to stay smart? Make learning a habit. Nobody ever learned how to tie their shoelaces by watching how to tie their laces you practiced over and over again. Sometimes your mom even gave you a little song on how to do it. Ever heard of the Pareto principle, aka the 80-20 rule? Think of it as your cheat code for mastering anything. Backed by brain science, it shows that about 80% of your progress usually comes from just 20% of your effort. The smart part, not the hard part. Even 20 minutes a day adds up. Morning, read a few pages. Lunch, watch a short explainer video. Night, recap what you learned in a journal or just talk to yourself like a podcast host. Mix it up too. Videos, podcasts, books, diagrams, whatever keeps your brain from getting bored. The key isn't grinding hard once, it's showing up every day on just a little bit. It's what most people call the learning curve. But once you spot that sweet 20%, you can level up faster with way less stress. Also, avoid the doom scroll trap. Replace one scroll session with one read, watch, learn session. Baby steps. Final thoughts. So, getting smarter is about reading things that matter, actually using what you learn, and tricking your brain into thinking knowledge is life or death. Then doing it all over again tomorrow. And if this video made you 1% smarter, congrats. You owe me a subscribe. Don't worry, it's free. Unlike college. Also, if you really want to flex your knowledge, drop something cool you learned recently in the comments. Let's make the comments section the smartest